What's up, ABL? Welcome to ABL Primetime for Week 5. I am joined here with none other than PerkHaze.
What's up, guys? This is my favorite show of the week, the Prime Time. It's time for Prime.
Oh, for Prime. Oh, same thing, right?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Anyways, guys, we're here for Week 5. We have the Dashing Dittos versus the Manchester Mimikyus, and we are post-shuffle. Is that right, Perk?
Post-shuffle, dude. Post-shuffle, all the way. It's finally happened. We did talk a little bit about it last week, but this week it has officially happened. As you can see, we have the records scrolling on down below. Question: Are they have been adjusted for the shuffle yet, or no?
Adjusted, yes. So you should have San Juan Frogadier, St. Hubert's Castaways, and all the top teams in Alpha Division, and then Beta and Gamma. We'll go over that in a second right here, but we have a little bit of time, just a little bit of time. We don't have a lot of time. The trainers are currently getting ready for their battle. We will be mentioning the winner of the power plays, which will be just one match we're going to be talking about, and then we'll break down these new divisions, and I think that should be game. So if that sounds like a plan, let's go ahead and see if I could break this up here for you guys. Let's take away this title screen here. You guys might not be able to see the teams all that well, but if I could do this for you guys. Let's do this.
Boom. There it is.
Let's make it big.
There it is.
There we go. That's better. All right, so we have in Alpha Division, we have the St. Hubert's Castaways, the Houston Team Rockets, the Lansing Leafeons, Miami Donphans, Vancouver Corviknights, and the San Juan Frokies. If you guys look over at the Beta Division, you guys got Boston Granvilles, Manchester Mimikyus, Corpus Christi Cubans, Everton Napoleons, Cuernavaca Cyndaquils, and the Dashing Dittos. And now I can't slide over to the other side of the screen, which is great. But then in the Gamma Division, we have Trenton Trevenants, Blackthorn Frogadiers, Copenhagen Canines, Phoenix Solrocks, and we have a coach change, which is actually really important. And I'll actually back away from this right here. We have the Slovenia Slowbros, who actually dropped out of the league. And picking up the team is the Maryland Terrapins. So Kelly picking up the team, which is 0-4, but we're very certain that they're probably going to make some quick adjustments to that team, make some transactions, and probably start picking up wins, I'm pretty sure.
And they already have. They've made some pretty decent changes so far. I'm not going to talk about them yet because they won't be in effect until next week. And I don't want to steal his thunder, so I'm going to go ahead and let them go ahead and tell you guys when it gets to be time for that.
Exactly.
But yeah, we're definitely really, really excited to have them in the league. And we super appreciate them picking it up sort of last notice or last minute.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about the power plays. And it's going to be straightforward, very quick, very easy. Power plays for this week are going to be going to none other than, I guess you guys probably guessed it, the Boston Granvilles, right?
Yes, the Boston Granvilles. Which is a match, if you were here last week, you saw live.
Exactly. Now, on their layout, they have the Solrocks on there. It was actually against my team, the San Juan Frokies. I had to double check the video and make sure that this was the proper video.
It was a light mix up.
Yeah,
no biggie.
Just a small one. But of course, they ended up getting the win. They were the first team to stop my team, my Snorlax, my everything. And basically, what Perk and I came together in conclusion was they just played so, I want to say, perfectly. And
yes,
it was just so well played on their part. And honestly, a lot of the plays were just banking on me doing what they wanted me to do, and I did it. So it was just a great game on their part.
Yeah, and it's for anybody who didn't see it, there was a lot of heavy RNG factor, but even when that wasn't happening, they just played about as perfect as they could have, all things considered. It was pretty crazy. They definitely did some prep work. They knew exactly what they wanted to do when they came in, and really, really just did it. Pretty much uncontested.
Yeah, they had a lot of momentum throughout the whole match. Just you turning around everything, pretty much.
The positions. And then calling your bluffs, when there were times when you're like, oh, is it going to U-turn? And then they didn't U-turn and things like that.
Yep. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. They had a mission. They played it out, and that is why they win the power plays. Honestly, I mean the combination that they led with in coming from my side, I was hoping for any other combo of Pokemon except for Dragapult and Cinderace. Mainly because I could not outspeed it no matter what, unless if I was probably like Scarfed, and it wouldn't even matter for the way my team plays. It wouldn't even matter. And then them having that combination, like I said, you turning around, positioning themselves with like whatever they wanted, hazards, whether it be weather, whether it be like a wall that I couldn't break in the moment, and so on and so forth. Playing with my own Flame Orb, getting that to my disadvantage. They played brilliantly, and honestly, they are more than deserving of that power play.
Yeah, and I guess as a side note, I'd like to give a special, I guess an acknowledgement to another team, Lantern Joe and his Everton Empoleons picking up their first win this week. They do have a win in their score that was due to a forfeit. So we're counting this as like their first official win. Mm-hmm. They played against the Corpus Christi Cubans, and I think they played excellently. There was a very clutch play during that match where, they were they made a crucial protect and double protected when their Gigantamax was getting doubled up into, and just played like very well. They sort of struggled at first, I think, but then just like picked it up towards the end and like really showed that they're definitely worthy to be in the ABL. That's for sure.
Yeah. So basically, that's pretty much all we got right now. Again, today was going to be really short and simple. We're probably considering next week kicking off a more in-depth power play section, but for now, we're just going to leave it nice and simple there. We're now waiting on our coaches to actually sync up and start the battle whenever they are ready. What do you expect to see in this matchup? This is a rematch, by the way.
Yes.
This is a rematch. I think right before the shuffle, these two teams played, and then based on their win-loss, now after the shuffle, they need to play first week again. So what do you expect to see here?
I don't know. I think like the last time that they played, it was pretty close, but I think the Dashing Dittos have learned a lot since they last played. Well, they played last week, but yeah. I believe, right? Was it last week?
Yeah, they played against each other last week.
Okay. Well, even that being said, they still would learn a lot from their opponent having just played them.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be interesting to see, if they decide to switch it up, or if they think, like, hey, I could have won with the team that I brought last time and it just didn't come through, because, that does happen on occasion. You bring a team, you can win, and you just don't do it. So I think, I think it's going to be close. I would imagine it's probably going to be, I don't know. I'd say it's probably going to, I'm leaning towards the Dashing Dittos personally.
Sure. I think this time it might go the other way around. I think the Manchester Mimikyus might actually be the ones to get the win. But you never know, right? So basically, last week, I think Teichichu just barely won, having her last Mon up on the field, being the one that actually got the getting the W. But yeah, so we got some breaking news here. I'll actually pull it up right now. We got some breaking news here. So we might be having a delay on a prime time. I don't know about this. We're gonna have to play it on the fly. There's some car troubles going on with one of the coaches with the Manchester Mimikyus. Not that they're not going to play, just that it's going to be a little bit later. So let's break down the teams, I guess, right now while we.
Yeah, and if we need to, we can always go through some of the other matches that happened this week if you want.
And that's no problem at all. But breaking down Teichichu's team, let's go ahead and see if I can get you guys a showcase of this. Let's do one of these. Breaking down Teichichu's team. We have the Avalugg, Dracovish, Escavalier, Flapple, Garbodor, Ludicolo, Mimikyu, Morpeko, Ninetales, Sigilyph, and Toxicroak. A team that came in very clutch for her last week. Definitely looking at the kills here. You got that Garbodor rocking at 4-4, being the Dynamax captain. That Morpeko being 4-4 as well, which is surprising considering the other Mons that she has on the team as well. Having the Dracovish that hasn't put in that much work yet. It's very surprising to see Morpeko up there with the Dynamax captain.
I mean, I think I think maybe the Dashing Dittos might be playing favorites a little bit. But you know what? That Morpeko has been putting in the work. And to be fair, she's been using it like it's the main protagonist, the main character. But still, I think just highlighting the way that Mon, is able to be used in a way that, you probably wouldn't see otherwise, I think is pretty cool. And the same thing with Garbodor. It's like, of course, the Dynamax captain is gonna have some kills. They just have they have a better, they probably spend more time on the field than most other mons, just given the natural boost to health.
Yep.
But even that being said, Garbodor is super super beastly, and it's definitely been putting in the work.
Yeah, and then moving on to the Manchester Mimikyus, they have the team of Gardevoir, Gourgeist, Hydreigon, Kingler, Lucario, Manectric, Morgrem, Rotom, Fan, Stonejourner, Thievul, and Unfezant. Again, their kill leaders being that Gardevoir, the Hydreigon, and the Lucario, all and Stonejourner actually being pretty much tied, all at 4 kills each.
Are you surprised to see Stonejourner there? I'm curious because in a doubles format, Stonejourner is definitely a support mon.
Yeah, no, but I'm not surprised though because I wanted to honestly I wanted to draft Stonejourner. That was one of the picks that was sniped for me because of the power spot ability. But if you could find a way to swap special defense stats with him, which there kind of is, like if you get like an Iron Defense Orbeetle and then do guard swap, that's okay. I mean, or Calm Mind Orbeetle with guard swap, you could swap that special defense over. Not that it's really too much of a good thing because again, Stonejourner can get knocked out with a bubble pretty much, but that thing's attack and defense is just so good. If you could maybe even speed swap instead, kind of like what I've been doing with the I forget the name, Swoobat and Snorlax. That thing is a threat. But the fact is that he hasn't been doing that, and he's still been getting knockouts with Stonejourner, which is impressive because again,
well, he has been using what is the attack that takes your defense instead of your attack stat?
Body press.
Yeah. He's been using. He has been using that if I'm not mistaken. Which is really Stonejourner's that's his bread and butter. I mean, that's going to be your go-to stab for sure.
Yeah, and Stonejourner doesn't necessarily even need it that much with the 125 base attack it has. But again, really good use of Stonejourner. Surprising, that KD is still positive, and it's still surprising me. But he has brought Stonejourner every single game, as you can see. So
yeah,
I would probably expect to see that come back just for that boost of power spot. And then, Hydreigon, very understandable that it's always going to be there. I believe that's the Dynamax captain, if I'm not mistaken, the Hydreigon.
Yeah, it is.
So, and then Gardevoir, again, really good mon. And again, that Gardevoir, Hydreigon, Lucario, that's a Dragon Fairy Steel Core that he's been rocking. And it's been doing really well for him so far. But, somewhere along the lines, he's been misplaying a little bit maybe underestimating, his opponents. And then just found himself in a 2-2 position right now.
Yeah, and I think too, Lucario is one of those mons, where you can run him so many different ways, and he can run so many good moves. It's kind of like, your opponent's probably going to bring it. It's one of their best mons, and it's very versatile, and I think that makes it really hard to plan against because you might put something out on the field and be like, hey, I'm about to destroy this thing, and little do you know, they end up getting destroyed by a move you weren't expecting, Yeah,
no, for sure. And again, the whole and moving away from the battle for a bit and talking about the dynamic shuffle system, the whole concept of the dynamic shuffle system is basically, usually in draft leagues you have this set schedule where you can maybe misdraft, have a not so good start, and then you just get stampeded over and over and over again. You don't have a chance to get your ground. You know what I mean? But with the dynamic shuffle system, you play 4 weeks, and then you're matched up with people with the same more or less win-loss ratio. So you have a chance because then the people that are up at top, some of them have to lose, obviously. So that balances things out a little bit for everybody to have a chance to get back into the game, even when they started off poorly. Yeah.
For example, if I was to go and say win all my matches, right? I would be 5-3. Which is a pretty respectable score. And that would put me easily in the middle division, possibly even in the top division, depending on how things shake out. But, and currently I'm now in the bottom division, unfortunate. But, you hate to see it, but it does happen. But yeah, I think that's one of the cool things about it is that everybody still has a chance, and people who are really good are going to still get a challenge. So I think that's probably the best part of the system. I do think that in there, there are obviously some drawbacks to the system, and that some people may play each other, a few times. But it's something that we thought going into the season would be something interesting, way to shake things up and keep things, more competitive. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it, and you guys will continue to enjoy it. And come the end of the season, we can evaluate the whole thing and see how our little experiment shakes out, and if we like it, we can move forward with that. But we really appreciate you guys coming along for the ride. We know it's pretty different from what most draft leagues do.
For sure. Now let's talk a little bit about this matchup right here, and it's the Miami Don fans versus the Houston Team Rockets. Houston getting a W. The only team that matters actually getting their first, not a loss. It's not a loss.
It's not a loss, but I don't know if they matter that much anymore now. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to my man Kyle. But yeah, definitely. Just a huge bummer. There was definitely some moments there where you needed to land an attack and it just didn't happen. There was that happened a few times. There was a moment, and I'm trying to remember exactly what moment it is where he could have prankstered. I think it was not prankstered. He could have used a particular. I can't remember. I just watched this a couple of days ago, but there was a moment where he had a play. He just didn't see it, but he was talking about it with some people in the comments, and just like, oh yeah, that would have been great. And it's one of those things in hindsight. It's easy to see like, I should have done this.
2020, yeah, exactly. No, but this was definitely a really good game. I think I'm about to get hit with an ad here, so it's fine. Oh no, I'm not. But
Kyle's gonna have to send us the raw files next time. We can't be having this.
But Kyle did a really good job, trying to work around the situation he had at hand. But I think both these players are experienced enough to where, and this is going to happen a lot more now that the shuffle has happened. You're going to have these players playing against each other that are a little bit more experienced or have a better ratio, and then they know already what you're going to do, basically. You've been playing for 4 weeks now, you know what I mean? So after these 4 weeks, there's not that many Pokemon left in the draft that you can just, or free agency that you can just say, hey, I'm going to go swap this out and can get this new, dynamic in my team or anything. There's not that option as much, as in other leagues. So these teams have seen each other play, and it goes to show, Randy knowing exactly what to do at the right time, pretty much, and it's going to be interesting to see how Kyle picks up after this first loss. And, week 5, week 6, week 7, and he comes back with a vengeance, reposition himself. Because, again, being at that top position now, losses hurt because you could get kicked down pretty badly if other teams in the lower division just keep getting wins.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, like, if we say, for example, Kyle right now, he's 3-1. He lost this match. Mm-hmm. If he loses... Just hypothetically speaking, if he was to lose his next few matches, he would be 3-4, which would probably put him in the lower tier or possibly middle tier, depending on, like we said before, how things shake out. Because it's going to depend on how far ahead certain people get than others. But I mean, he would definitely, if he was to lose all his matches, he would definitely drop down to at least the middle division.
I'd probably say all the way down because you'll at least get 2 teams from that last division that move up somewhere, and then 2 teams from the middle division that might move up as well. So it just shuffles all the way around. So it just depends on how the other teams play. He could just get 2 losses, probably get into the middle division. It just depends on how it all plays out. People within the same division as him, like I can lose all my 4 matches upcoming, and it might might help him out. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the rest of the matches play out for everybody across the whole league.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's go ahead and see if I can pull up another match because, and this is going to be a little bit unprofessional here, while we hopefully get our guys playing. If not, we might have to just make this a whole let's talk about all the battles thing. But it happens sometimes, traffic happens.
Yeah.
But you were talking about the battle between the Everton and Polions with Corpus Christi Cubans, correct? So
yes, that was a good battle. I thought that was one of the more fun battles to watch this week. Definitely one of my personal favorites. Another good one that we can watch as well if we have time is Soy's battle. That was another good one.
Yep.
Some interesting techniques from Soy's match. He actually used a move that, and I don't know what this says about me, but I have never, ever, ever heard of this move, and I don't know how that's possible. Is it new? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Which one?
Is it called Quash?
Yeah, Quash. Sableye has it.
Yeah. How many Pokemon get that move?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I've never heard of that move, and I'm like, this man, he used what? What is this? What is this hidden ability? Who is this man is cheating?
And the thing is, like, he also has Prankster, so it makes it that much better.
Yeah. Well, and I'm just like, I was like, I've never even seen this. I wouldn't even know what to do if that happened to me. I'd just be dumbfounded.
Yeah. But right here, you have the Everton Empoleons with the Noivern and the Umbreon. You know, Noivern being such a good special attacker, that Umbreon being such a good wall pretty much for a lot of Mons. But, you know, faced against the Corpus Christi Cubans is Ribombee. It's a very interesting matchup, especially since both these Mons are weak to Fairy, of course.
Yeah, and you see right away he just pretty much gets a free turn to set up sticky webs like right off the bat, which is great for him because he has a relatively slow team besides Ribombee. And that's going to kind of set him back. Like I said, you know, watching this, the Corpus Christi Cubans, like they start off really well. And then, you know, Lantern Joe's team, he makes some adjustments. He makes some very, very critical plays and manages to bring it back around. But I think we're going to see the heat wave come in here from the Noivern, if I'm not mistaken, which is going to knock them both down to a pretty decent amount, if I'm not mistaken. He might switch here. Okay, so he does go Helping Hand, and then I believe it is Heat Wave.
Yeah, it's Helping Hand, Heat Wave. Then he goes in with the Dazzling Gleam in return to the hit, and then that close combat from the Berserker, which is such a strong mon, and people just let him go so late in the draft. But yeah, knocking off that Umbreon really quickly off the bat, you know, and moving on a little bit forward into the match a little bit down the line, you know, Reuniclus being that Dynamax captain from the Everton Empoleons, you know, seeing some action here.
And right there.
It's been a few weeks where we haven't even seen him Dynamax his mon at all.
Yeah, and that was right there the most critical play of the game, in my opinion. He gets the energy ball off here on the Rotom, takes the Rotom down completely, and then, you know, from here it's all him. I think at this point the Cubans have one more mon, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they have.
They have two more. They have two more.
Yeah.
So yeah, he brings in the Hawlucha, makes a good play. But it's just impressive. It really was. You know, he sort of got backed into a corner and then, you know, turned it around and got his first win, which I think is super awesome. Yep. We love to see that. We want everybody to hopefully get a win by the end of the season. You know, I got one. That might be the only one.
That's the only one you're getting. You know, I mean, you can't ask for any more than that.
Hey, you know what? If I can win at least one, then I mean, I'm doing something right, I think.
But yeah, it's a shame to see, or not a shame, but it's a good thing to see the Everton Empoleons get a win. It's a shame for the Corpus Christi Cubans to get their loss. How different do you think this would be if, I don't know, if the Corpus Christi Cubans didn't bring the Hawlucha and instead would have brought, I don't know, I know they have other mons. Let me see if I can pull something up here. Instead of bringing the Hawlucha, maybe bringing in something different I think they didn't bring Cloyster.
So I think a good choice probably would have been to bring something like Duoblade to this match. Maybe Eldegoss potentially. Like you said, the Cloyster is a good choice.
I'm surprised I not have seen it yet. Just thinking, hey, it has Skill Link, it has the ability to, Shell Smash. You know, we might be seeing some Cloyster action. We still haven't seen the Corpus Christi Cubans use Cloyster at all.
Yeah, and if we slot in Cloyster in place of his Ribombee turn 1, right, and then that what's it called? The Umbreon protects, and then he fakes out the Noivern. He gets a free Shell Smash, and then he probably sweeps, honestly, or at least, gets a couple kills because the Cloyster is going to be super fast. He's going to hit that Noivern 4 times effective. That thing will probably go down in one hit, easily. And then it's like Umbreon can't really do a whole lot to Cloyster. So I think, you know, like had that been played a little bit differently, it definitely could have gone in his favor.
Yeah, no, for sure. So let's talk about this match right here. The Copenhagen Canines versus the Little Rock Lucarios, which are having a very tough start. I think they were one of the backup coaches, those last second backup coaches, picking up, inheriting a team that was drafted for them pretty much. But they've been having a little bit of a rocky start. They're still 0-4. Copenhagen Canines getting the win this week against them. Again, I love the team that the Copenhagen Canines drafted. I'm glad that they finally got their first win. Hopefully this will give them the momentum to keep going because they have a really good team in terms of, you know, they have the Gastrodon. They have the Tyranitar. They have the Charizard. You know, they have Rillaboom, which still doesn't have Grassy Surge, but if it did, again, they're all really good for mods for VGC. So I really think it's just a matter of fine-tuning the mons that he has and finding a good synergy for him to work with.
And I think too, like, you know, the thing for him is he's had a very, very tough schedule.
This is true.
I would say probably one of the toughest schedules that anybody out of all the coaches has had. Yep. Playing against pretty much exclusively very experienced, very talented coaches, which is always, it's daunting. I know that he is a talented, you know, battler in his own right. But, you know, like at the end of the day, somebody's got to win. Unfortunately, it hasn't been him up until, you know, this battle. But, you know, I think going forward, you know, he has some momentum now. He's got his first win. I feel like, you know, he's definitely going to continue to win moving forward, I feel like.
Definitely, because, again, like Solar Power Charizard is not banned here. You can use Solar Power Charizard, you know. Gigantamax Solar Power Charizard. You have the Torkoal to set your sun up whenever you want it. You know, he knows he has these options. It's just, you know, refining his spreads, refining his decision making. Maybe it's just the matchups. Maybe he'll just straight up sweep every other team now from here, and sets him up to middle first division maybe. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Salabgo does. But talking about the Little Rock Lucarios now, they have an interesting team too. I mean, they have Dracozolt, they have Togekiss being such a good, prominent mon in VGC. A lot of people like to run the Scope Lens. A lot of people like to run Weakness Policy because you pretty much almost can never knock it out quickly enough. So he does have options as well to like build a team, not around a Togekiss per se, but, you know, with the Togekiss in mind for sure.
I think, what do you think about this? I think maybe the Little Rock Lucarios should consider a captain change. What do you think?
Probably they should. I think they could probably make that Togekiss the Dynamax captain. Just because
that's what I was thinking as well.
Off the top of my head, anything that they have on their team, but or they could, you know, I'm gonna call them out. They could trade with the San Juan Frokies that they've been sliding in those DMs for a certain mon that they keep saying no to, but you know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, just a suggestion from non-biased and non. You know?
Well, I mean, we could always just kick you out of the league. I'm not just kidding.
Oh my god.
No.
Take him out. Yeah, but like he has, dude. I mean, he has Gallard Darmanitan, which I feel like I haven't really seen a whole lot.
No.
You know, he has brought it twice. But I mean, that thing is a powerhouse.
He had Corsola Galarian Corsola when he started the league. He dropped it and he picked something else up. And then Salabgo, the team he's actually facing against right now, picked it up as soon as it went out. So I mean, it's I don't know. Hey man, he has Pokemon like Vaporeon. He has the Golurk, which is actually not bad. You know, there's a lot of other mons. I
haven't seen Malamar yet. Malamar would be a cool Pokemon to run.
Mm-hmm. Running the topsy-turvy combos, contrary ability. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
But I do think if you're watching this, I would recommend personally. I think Togekiss is your best bet. I think you should captain change to Togekiss. Personally, I think, you know, that's probably the most like well-rounded mon on your team.
Yeah.
And I think just like it'd be really good.
They did trade the Bullhund, the Raichu they had, to the Bullhund that the Miami Dawn fans had as soon as the season started too. So I mean, it's not that they haven't made trades. Like I'm saying, y'all, you could trade with me. Oh man. All right,
You could do it.
You could do it. I'm telling you, you could do it.
You could just do it. Just slide into those DMs.
Just do it. It's just you just gotta reply. Do we have any update on these coaches? I know Teichichu's waiting. She's just waiting for traffic on Peekaboo's end.
There's no need. We don't have to watch mine. We can if you want to.
We want to watch yours.
We don't. I mean, there's not much to show, to be honest.
Let's pull yours up right now. Let's do that.
All right, fine.
You're playing against the undefeated team, the St. Hubert's Castaways, which again have been showing time and time again that they are a threat.
They are the most dominant team in the league, tied with like very few others.
This is true. With everybody in Alpha Division, pretty much, except for the ones that have losses.
Chat is saying we should scrimmage.
We should scrimmage. You want to scrimmage?
You know, it's kind of funny. I don't know if I should say it here, but why not? You will see something from a competition, if you will, between me and Curse in a couple weeks here for something else we're doing. Yeah. So
there'll be a scrimmage, but not now. Not now. Definitely not now.
Definitely not now, but in the future.
But speaking of the matchup with the St. Hubert's Castaways, the team that is undefeated, the team that is currently dominating, the team that, week one they came in and people thought that they were stalling and they were just really trying to get positioning. And, then after that, people called them out. They said, okay, you want us to get kills, get wins, then they started doing so. How did it feel on your end playing against them? Do you feel like they were always one step ahead of you? Did you feel like they were just watching your screen while you were playing with them? Like, what do you feel?
So honestly, like I felt like I had a really solid plan going into it, which is something I talked about in the video.
Yeah. 3 life orbs and 2 focus ashes.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, his team is a notorious trick room team.
Yeah.
He runs it he's run it every single game he's played. So I went in expecting that, and obviously know that he knows that I know that. And the problem was, I went in, I brought a new team, and my plan was to stop the trick room. But he ends up not leading with the trick room. He ends up leading with Arcanine and Mamoswine, and he just starts helping hand with, I think it was high horsepower. Okay. And he's just stomping everything that I throw at him. He's outspeeding every mon that I have. I pretty much had nothing for it because, like, there was definitely
the scarfed Mamoswine, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So he scarfed Mamo with the helping hand, and basically anytime I brought out something that could hit it or do some damage, it would just be dead. And I just kind of had nothing for it. Like, it was just so strong. And it was so, I mean, we're talking about a mon that is outspeeding speed invested Gengar. Yeah. Which is very fast. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he's still outspeeding me. And it was very frustrating. Because I had to make some switches to preserve things. In the beginning, I didn't know how fast he was going to be. So like, as you can see right there, I'm switching in, or I had switched in my, what's it called? My Passimian to hopefully take the hit, which he did, but then he's still faster than me. And I've got Step Pappy out, Mr. Rhyme, and, he doesn't really have a whole lot of options. So, my plan was, maybe I could switch into Cramorant, get him on the field, hopefully, pressure that Arcanine out so he would stop helping hand, and then I could maybe survive a hit long enough to do something. Yeah. But then that ends up backfiring because really what I needed to do was get the Mamo out of there, and he was just targeting like whatever was going to do the most damage to Mamoswine, and I couldn't get anything going, and I end up pretty much just getting swept. I do get 1 kill during the match. Yeah. But other than that, it was really awful. It sucked. But it does happen. It's not something I even considered, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. And I think, sometimes games just happen like that. I feel like most of my matches have been relatively close. They've all come down to either 1 or 2 mons left. And this is the only one where I just felt severely outclassed so far. And, and they're a great team. I don't really have any shame in losing to them because they're fantastic. But I definitely was salty about it. So, shout out to HPT for being a good sport. Because I may have said some mean things during my video.
I remember watching it and I was like, okay, I know where this is going. But no, like the mammoth swine, it's definitely like a scarf mammoth swine against, like, again, like you were saying, your setup, it did seem scary. And watching the video, I was just in utter disbelief that, you were talking to me about it before you even went into the battle. You were like, hey, I'm gonna outplay his trick room. It's gonna work perfectly. And surprise, surprise, he doesn't even bring the trick room. So
yeah.
It's I bet it's heartbreaking, and I mean you learn from it. So, and again,
Yeah.
everybody else in Alpha Division now knows, hey, this is another mode this team can run in. They can be like, we see Mammoth Swine, that's a threat. We see Dusclops, that's a threat. We know Arachninid's a threat. So basically, this is the thing with all draft leagues, not just this one, but you start learning how other teams play. People get comfortable with their teams, and they develop new strategies as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out week 5, 6, 7. Just like Miami Dawn fans, and I think they play the Miami Dawn fans this week. It's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out between everybody here.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, boom, good stuff. So,
what do we got next? What's on the agenda?
It's pretty much everything, unless if Teichichu and Peekaboo started battling, which I don't think they did. I think Peekaboo's still running really late. I think that's pretty much everything.
Did we go over? We didn't go over Soy's match.
This is true. I could pull up Soy's match.
We could do that one. We could do that one. Let me. We're sorry for the delay, guys. Obviously, like some things are just out of our control, and I know both of these coaches are really excited to do this. It's definitely a bummer, but if you've ever driven a car, you know that sometimes they just don't work.
There you go. We have Soy Saddle Monsters match against Ioku, which we got an ad started in 2 seconds, so we're gonna go here and promote Ioku first.
Yeah, man.
You gotta support the content creators, you know what I mean? But I
gotta do it.
Ad, you know what I mean? So, so Soy leading off with the amazing lead that I never want to face of Sableye and Hatterene.
This is where we're going to see the Quash.
Yes, this is a very, 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 very scary lead because, again, Quash making you be the last attacking Mon, or the Mon that makes its move last. Hatterene can potentially pull off a Trick Room if he so desires to do so, or whatever other set he wants to do. You when you find yourself here in this situation here, you can't taunt necessarily. If you have Prankster, you can't really taunt the Sableye because it's a Dark type. So
yeah,
and then Sableye's Prankster outspeeds whatever because of Prankster. So it's such a tough situation to be in. And then you see just Yoku just going straight for the Dynamax. What did you think when you saw this going on right here with the Dynamax?
I don't know. So personally, my kind of thing is like you're either gonna save your Dynamax for the end, it's kind of like going all out at the end, but like bringing it out and on the first play of the game really sets like a sort of like pace for how the battle is gonna go. Like you're going all out from the start. Yeah. And this thing actually stays on the field for like quite a bit, which is kind of surprising. Usually like Dynamaxes, they do stay on the field longer, but they tend to be a priority. But in this case, they both Dynamax right off the bat. And then you see the Quash, the big Quash going in on the Electric Boy. And we see the, what is the move called? Centiferno?
It leaves
Centiferno.
Yeah.
And then the Max Mindstorm comes in, and that just completely destroys that thing. And then they start getting buffed. He sets up the... He sets up the terrain, get the battlefield a little weird, and
which is going to give him a boost for that attack. You know what I mean? Like it's just going to help him out that much more. And then Yoku could probably consider his options here. If you bring Big Brain, that Hatterene might have Mystical Fire, which again destroys that instantly pretty much. And then that Sableye is an issue there in the corner because all the prankster things that it could do. It has so many things at its disposal, which is pretty annoying, honestly. So again, very bad situation here for anybody ever playing against this team in the future. You guys take notes because this team can be pretty crazy. And then I don't remember what else Soy had in the back, but I know like even after you get through, like for example, let's say you get through Sableye, let's say that you get through Howderine, like Soy still has an arsenal in the back of mons that work very well together. Like they work very very well, and
Yeah.
you know it's
He's
just,
got. I know in this particular battle he has his Seismitoad with him.
which has done wonders for him.
Yeah, I mean Seismitoad. I mean you take one look at like the common mons that are used in double. Seismitoad is up there. It's very very strong. Um, the having the water ground typing is just super super clutch. And it's just really good. It's really good. It's versatile. It's a good mon.
Yeah, it's such a hard situation for Yoku and right here. I mean, again, Soy's lead just being so dangerous, and then having that dominance of just what, I'm gonna set up Rain Dance because my prankster just lets me do whatever I want first. And I can just control everything at a moment's notice.
Another thing too, that Soy just pointed out that I forgot is that he actually goes for the heavy slam with Steelix on the Hatterene, and as most of you probably know, but some of you may not know, is that weight attacks do not work on Dynamax mons.
Neither does Roar, and I believe I forgot something else. Yeah, but moves like Whirlwind, Roar won't work on Dynamax mons.
Yeah, I think the only way you can reliably get one off the field is to
eject,
trick eject button.
Yeah.
So definitely unfortunate because that was a play that could have been very crucial for him.
Mm-hmm.
Had he not done that. And I mean, I've made mistakes like that before, and they really hurt. So I totally, I feel for him on that one.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, that's where he starts really losing momentum because he's just lost his Toxtricity, and then he brings in the Steelix, and he's like, "This is the answer." Mm-hmm. The answer gets shut down, and then it's like, "Okay, what's our plan? Okay, we're gonna start coiling." And he just can't bring that Hatterene down, and it's just staying alive.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
Hatterene is just such an issue sometimes. Like, if you don't keep that mon in check, and again, these two mons together are just so problematic because they can complement each other however they want. Sableye can complement, like, Sableye is such a good mon on its own because it could complement, for example, the Seismitoad, like we saw in week 1, that Rain Dance, get that Swift Swim boost onto the Seismitoad. It's so good. You got that Quash ability now. Sableye with the knockoff, knocking things out of Pokemon. You saw the Eviolite go down. You saw the Assault Vest go down on 2 of Ioku's mons. It's definitely such a troublesome mon to deal with. And it's definitely probably one of the more prioritized mons that Ioku should have take down. Maybe focus on the Sableye a little bit and just try to stall out the Hatterene's Dynamax a bit, so then you can just then heavy slam it. That would have probably been a better play. But again, definitely very troublesome lead from Soy there. Just even if he didn't knock out a lot of mons, he definitely chipped away a lot of Ioku's team. That Togetic doesn't have a Eviolite anymore. There's no Assault Vest on the Steelix anymore either. And now you have a Mantine and a Seismitoad in the rain.
Yeah, I know, so, in the rain. And it's like, oh, well, what do you do now? You got this bulky Seismitoad with the great typing in the rain, and then you've also got Mantine, which is just stupid fast.
Yeah, and in the rain with Hurricane that doesn't miss. So it's definitely just such a weird situation to be in for anybody on the opposing side. You know what I mean? And Soy's just like swimming in this rain. He's surfing around it. And if you see right here, Ioku's team is crippled right now. There's no items on 2 of the mons. 2 of the mons are very low on HP, and then whatever you do have left is usually just a support mon. Except for the Surfetch. But again, this thing's super fast in the rain, the Seismitoad. So it's going to be very, very hard for him to get out of that position, and it is Soy getting the W in this matchup.
Yep, absolutely.
That's that.
So I do not have any updates so far.
I don't have any updates either. I think this might have to be one of those where we say we're so sorry.
We're so sorry.
We're so sorry. We were promised a match too. But let's just talk about what we predict just for a little bit, and we'll end with this.
Okay.
If we could get them to get on before then, great. If not, then I guess we'll just probably end with this because this is more or less the same amount of time the match would have taken. What are your predictions
Just it as a whole for the next week?
Yeah, for this next week, all the matches. I'm going to pull them up for you. They won't be on screen for the stream, but...
Okay, yeah, because I was going to say some of them are already done.
Yeah, I'm tracking. So, I'll let you start with the first.
Okay, so...
Let's do it this way for you.
Yeah, I was going to say I can't see who's battling.
This way for you. There you go. These are your matchups.
Oh, I think one of our coaches just went live.
Uh-oh.
I believe it's going down.
All right, well, let's talk about these predictions while these guys get synced up.
Okay, cool. We are gonna have a match. I'm actually super excited now. Okay, so I think we already talked about obviously the Mimikyus and the Dittos that we're about to watch, and we've got the Boston Granvilles versus the Corpus Christi Cubans. I think the Boston Granvilles got this. They've gotten better and better and better every single week.
Yeah.
Last week they played phenomenally. The Corpus Christi Cubans just coming off a loss, so I think I think the ball is in the Granvilles' court at this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it.
It's gonna be a tough match
if they bring in the heat like they did against me.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna say it's an easy win because it was an easy
straight
win.
Hacks though.
It was an easy win. I mean, they got hacks too, right? But it was an easy win from them against me. So I don't know if the Corpus Christi Cubans bring I keep saying this. If they bring Cloister and they put that thing to work in the right way, they might be able to win. Because again, if you can get that Cloister to outspeed the Dragapult and the Cinderace, you're set.
Yeah.
You're set.
Yeah.
And then you have your Berserker, which can just put that Lapras to, not to sleep, but to sleep, knock it out. You know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely.
So the Corpus Christi Cubans have a chance there. I kind of want to lean with the Boston Granvilles just because of momentum, coming off that win. Feeling good with their team. Corpus Christi Cubans getting a loss, having to probably restructure, refine some things on their team. I'm going to probably give it to Boston as well. We said Dashing Dittos in Manchester. I'm going for Manchester personally.
Yes.
Just because I think, well, I don't know. Now that they're stuck in traffic and kind of rushed, they might lose. But I was going for Manchester just because it was so close last time. And I think this time they might just come and switch the strategy up a bit. Moving on to Cuernavaca versus Everton. I think
I'm gonna have to give it to. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Yeah. I'm gonna have to give it to the Cuernavaca Cyndaquils.
Cuernavaca Cyndaquils.
There you go. I think the Everton Napoleons are coming off their first win. Yeah. I do think that they played really well. I just think that the Cyndaquils are playing really solid. They've had some unfortunate matchups.
Yep.
And just haven't really been able to get their groove necessarily. Mm-hmm. So I think this is a chance for them to sort of start building it back up. And then
I have to agree with that actually, 100%.
You got the Lansing Leafeons are playing the Vancouver Corviknights. Now this one I'm really excited for. The Vancouver Corviknights is a team that's coming out of my division that I played against. That I think they played really well. The Lansing Leafeons obviously have not lost a match yet. They are playing fantastically.
Yep.
But the Vancouver Corviknights actually have great counters for the Lansing Leafeons. One of their biggest threats, which is ironically a Gigantamax Corviknight. So it'll be interesting to see how that match plays out. I'm gonna have to go with the Lansing Leafeons. I don't think you can bet against a team that has gone undefeated thus far.
I'll probably go for the Vancouver. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's gonna be tough for that one too. Again, these matchups start getting tougher and tougher. I think the Lansing Leafeons have a good shot at winning just because they know exactly what they want to do. They've been doing so for the first 4 weeks. You know what I mean? It'd be great to see the Vancouver Corviknights get a win so that the Lansing Leafeons get a loss, humbles them down a little bit. And I just want to see how the Vancouver Corviknights get that win primarily. Moving on to Houston Team Rockets versus San Juan Frokies, I'm gonna have to go with the Houston Team Rockets.
I feel like it's a little sabotage going on there. I would have to agree. They are undefeated, and we're almost undefeated.
I was almost, yeah.
But I think the Houston Team Rockets have been very dominant. They are, like we've said before, one of the most dominant teams in the league. I think they will continue to probably dominate. But real quick, one of the matches that I think is the most important that we need to talk about, the Copenhagen Canines versus the Maryland Terrapins.
Yeah.
Terrapins. What do you think about that one? I mean, like, the backup coach is coming in. This is going to be their first week.
I mean,
What do you think is going to happen?
So I don't doubt any of Kelly's capability of picking up this team and then just turning it all around and getting W's left and right. I don't doubt that at all. However, the problem I see here is the Copenhagen Canines know exactly how their team works. They've had 4 weeks of playing with their team, 4 weeks of seeing this works, this doesn't work. And then the Marylands or Terrapins are coming in fresh. That's the only thing I see here. I don't see anything necessarily of like, oh, this team's better than the other. Each team has their pros and cons. So Terrapins having Age of Slash, if you put that to proper use, you can do a lot of things. Having a Sil Valley that you could give any type to. Like 2 very, very good mons right there. And then you just complement that with whatever else you have on that team. I think they have a very solid chance. I want to see the Marylands or Terrapins win, but I feel bad because the Copenhagen Canines just came off their first win. So it's a match I want to see as well. It's definitely one of those matches that I'm very excited for.
Yeah, no, for me, like same here, honestly. Like I'm super excited for this one because like, getting to see a new coach come in, see how they can perform. Especially also another thing too is like if I'm not mistaken, this is one of their first forays into double battles as well. So I think that'll be pretty cool. Yep. Another matchup that we have coming up is the Blackthorn Frogadiers versus the Little Rock Lucarios. I really want to see the Little Rock Lucarios pick up a win. I think they can definitely do it.
Yeah.
And I think the start of the shuffle is probably the best time for it to happen. The Blackthorn Frogadiers have played, pretty well so far. They've had a couple hiccups here and there, but I think, this is a good matchup. I think the Little Rock Lucarios, they were in a tough division. I think now that the shuffle has taken place, they have the best chance to make a comeback and start, just getting some wins. And I think, I'd have to say the Blackthorn Frogadiers probably are going to win. But I'm going to root for the underdog on this one and go with the Little Rock Lucarios.
Yeah, I think the Blackthorn Frogadiers win, mainly because the Lucarios haven't wanted to trade with me, and secondly because mainly because the Blackthorn Frogadiers, I think they are a lot more comfortable than the Little Rock Lucarios are with their team. I think the thing with the Blackthorn Frogadiers is just they've matchups. I think is the main thing. But the fact that the Little Rock Lucarios didn't make that trade yet to Togekiss for Dynamax Captain, again, Blackthorn Frogadiers can totally play around that. And, not having to worry about, not being able to heavy slam the fairy type. You can heavy slam the Togekiss now. You can, hit that thing. And Blackthorn Frogadiers can totally play around the Dracozolt. So I think they're pretty well matched up there. I think the Blackthorns will get it. Going back to Houston Team Rockets, like I was saying, they are probably going to win because these cheaters have 3 teams in one. You know what I mean? They have 3 teams in one. There's a rain team, there's a sand team, there's a trick room team up in there somewhere. So, somehow his speed tiers work to where he can have a trick room team if he wants. So, anyways, and then the last team that we have matchups that we have is St. Hubert's Castaways versus Miami Don Fans. Who do you think is going to get that win there?
Honestly, it's hard to say because it's like both teams are, not both teams are undefeated. The Miami Dolphins do have a loss, but they lost to an undefeated team. Yeah. So I think, that match is going to be super close. It's kind of hard to say because when you look at it, St. Hubert Castaways were in a different division than the Miami Dolphins. And I would say the Miami Dolphins is probably a tougher division. I think it was probably the toughest one right off the bat. And they still managed to get 3 wins. St. Hubert Castaways, they've got a very, very good strategy. I think this is like the powerhouse match of the week.
Yeah.
Probably like the 2, if we were to average out both teams together, this is probably the strongest matchup that there is happening this week.
Yeah.
So I think personally, after playing St. Hubert's, I would probably go with them just because I think that at this point, if they feel pretty unpredictable, and I think that is a major weapon, and they know how to use it.
Yeah, I have to agree there. And now, do we have the coaches syncing up, or are we still waiting?
I believe that they are. Let me just double check here.
Again, everybody, we do apologize. Like we said, there was some traffic on one of the coaches' ends. It was just we weren't ready for it. It was last second thing on their part. One of the coaches is ready to go. As you guys can see right here, we'll actually showcase our coach here, just conducting some trades, waiting for their shot at battle. And we have Tai Chichu there just waiting. She's been waiting this whole time, so thank you so much for doing that. We do appreciate that. She's just been there, just Just, just waiting for Peekaboo to get there. While we're out here talking about all these battles.
Hopefully we'll see something soon.
Yeah.
See what's going on here. I'm pulling up the other coach's stream right now, but it's not seeming to want to work here.
It's not wanting to work. I'll see if I can do that for you. But yeah, like we said, Taichichi being such a great sport, just holding the stream down on her end so that we can actually at least have a match going up. And we're just waiting on, I guess, Peekaboo, which I can probably do on my end over here, start pressing some buttons and hopefully getting Peekaboo going. If not, I'll log on and battle somebody. Just kidding. Probably not.
Yeah, I think we're going to see it. It's going to happen.
It's happening?
I think it's going to happen.
Oh, we have both coaches live, actually. So Peekaboo's up and going now, too. I think he's setting up his moves, maybe?
Yeah, I believe so.
Let me show you guys what's going on Peekaboo's screen. Let's go ahead and show you a little bit of that. We have Peekaboo right here, who seems to be setting up last second, which is fine. It's as long as the battle's going to go on. You know what I'm saying? We got Peekaboo here, and we have Taichichi over there on the other side. So we got both coaches up and running now. It's just a matter of getting them connected.
Let me go ahead and shoot them a message.
Yeah. Again, like we said.
Okay, I just got a message that says we're about to start.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Because I've been sitting down for an hour. I'm just kidding. And again, we do apologize to everybody that is like on a tight schedule wanting to watch a battle real quick in the evening. If you guys are watching this post and this has been uploaded and you're wondering why this video for Primetime is over an hour long, fret not. It's not naturally like that. But we'll pull up Peekaboo here in the meantime, I guess. On this screen here while we wait for them to connect. I think they are actually trying to connect right now.
Oh boy, here we go. I'm definitely excited for this. Like we said, this is a rematch, so this is like it's like Conor McGregor's coming back, dude. Hopefully this one will last longer than 40 seconds, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it'd be a shame if it doesn't. So we got Peekaboo on this side searching. Let's see if I could pull up the other side. I don't know what side would be better to watch, but we'll do one of these and put this up in full screen right here. And I think Taichichi's already searching, and I think this is the side we're probably gonna pick for full screen purposes, just because I think the layout works a little bit better here, and we can just commentate over it. Let's put some audio up here of the coaches here while we wait for them.
Okay, they are searching for each other, so it's just a matter of I've noticed sometimes it takes a long time to get connected.
Yeah, this is true.
Like especially if you're connecting with somebody overseas, like it feels like the signal is having to swim across the ocean to get there.
I'm proud of you though.
Like honestly, it sucks. All right. Alrighty then.
Now we're just cutie fly. You get the hell away from me.
Come on, Nintendo. What are you guys doing?
Nintendo servers, man.
Get it together, Game Freak. Get it together.
Have to do the chess timer method.
The what?
The chess timer method.
Oh.
Where they make
Who wants to do all that?
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff to do.
Just waiting for the battle.
Come on now. Play the game the way that they intended, guys. Come on. Even if it sucks.
All right, so while we wait here, let's see if we could pull up.
Disappeared for a moment, but we're good.
Pull up Peekaboo over here.
You're gonna get that dubba doodle doo. Hey man, if you say it like that.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think you can find a match if Peekaboo's in the menu screen, is it?
I love that.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's the reason why.
Waiting.
Hopefully it'll work now.
Maybe.
Sometimes these things take a bit.
Only time will tell. That's what we should title this week's battle.
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
They're looking over more clips.
Now we can start the battle off by saying, the battle you've all been waiting for, and it really means something.
Yeah, we're just waiting on these guys to start their match.
Why is
Which,
it taking
you know, to be fair, they're both
They're both
doing
looking
it.
for each
It's
other.
just,
Yeah,
it's
they
not working.
both are.
Gotta love it, dude. Gotta love it. Oh.
Let's see what's happening on this side, audio-wise.
Every time I try to post it, it's still doing the preview window. But yeah, I just don't know why it's doing that to me now. Because I know it's not me seeks if I post it myself and then it does the preview window.
You have to relaunch the search.
Gotta love it, dude. Gotta love it.
Yep. So in the meantime,
Honestly, like, you know, technical difficulties and all. There's nothing like it, man. Nothing like it.
if you guys were wondering how Draft League's run in the background, like before you watch a YouTube video where it's all edited and everything looks like squared away, they know how to connect with each other. This is how it works,
It's like,
guys.
this is what it's like. You know that moment where you're like, oh, we're going to cut back once the battle starts?
Yeah.
There's like 15 hours in between that.
You're like, yeah, we'll be right back.
And like mine, like I feel like when I do mine, it's like, you know, I'm like, and I'll be back with the battle and then cut back to me and I've got my beard's like 5 inches longer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, welcome back. We're finally connected.
Okay, so they're relaunching the search. Peekaboo just launched his. I believe Teichichu's about to put in her code.
Hopefully it's the same one.
Hey, man, you never know.
I make that mistake all the time. I give somebody the code and I put in the wrong one. And I'm giving them the code. This is why I keep losing.
All right, so they both got the
Okay,
codes in. There we
okay.
go.
Finally, we're in. Let's do this.
All right, so we've connected. So now we might actually be able to get some stuff going. We're going to kick into the actual battle now, guys. Let's do this. Let's actually try to put some volume on from her side. Hopefully it's not a little bit overpowering or anything on
Because this
her
is
end.
the rematch of the century.
She's saying it's the rematch of the century, guys.
Of the century.
That's what she said.
Good one, dude.
No, literally.
Oh, man.
All right. So I believe Peekaboo is selecting the rules. And we have Teichichu. She can pick her team now. So we get to see her team first as soon as she decides to select her team.
Yes, this
Okay. So I think this is a different... No, it seems like the same team, doesn't it?
one.
It does. So
Except
I
for
was kind of...
Ludicolo?
No, I think Ludicolo was there last time.
Okay.
But I think I was right in the sense of like, you know, sometimes you bring a team and you're like, you know, I could have won with this team. I just didn't.
Is that the same team from Peekaboo?
I think it is.
I love that.
Okay.
Unless the Unpheasant.
I don't know.
No,
It might be different sets, but I definitely saw the Stone Journey coming back. Again, that Fairy Dragon Steel Core is there. Stone Journey
Yeah.
for the boost. And Manectric, you can't go wrong with Manectric. So, honestly, Peekaboo's team looks kind of scary to me, but, Taichichi's been using that I forget its name, Morpeko so well for the past 4 weeks that, leading off with the Morpeko too, it's going to be very interesting. And then you got the not Pyukumuku, I'm sorry, the Mimikyu, and then the Ludicolo back.
Mimikyu make you want to puke. Pyukumuku.
This is true. It's just the nickname.
Yeah. QQQ.
Did she only pick 4 Pokemon?
I hope not.
I believe she did.
Aw, he's
Well, that's going to be an error.
having a good day.
I believe she just picked 4 Pokemon.
Do you think she noticed yet?
Probably not. I don't know. We're about to find out. I think she just picked 4 Pokemon, which would be great if we were playing playoffs. I don't know. She might have picked all 6. I just didn't see it properly.
You know what they say, when it rains, it pours. Oh, boy. I can't help but laugh, you know?
Yeah. We'll see right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yep.
They both did.
Wait.
So.
They both did.
Okay. I think they're resetting. I'm pretty sure.
How does that happen? How does that happen?
It happens sometimes, man.
But I know, but to see it both in the exact same amount, I feel like do they know they're not in playoffs or?
I don't know. Maybe it was the shuffle, but they're running back out. That's fine.
Doing playoffs now. That's right, Soy.
That's right, Soy. Y'all you guys didn't make it.
You guys gotta. This is the announcement. You guys missed playoffs.
Surprise! None of you guys made it to
playoffs. Playoffs. Talk about playoffs. Okay, but I'm pretty sure they don't have to reconnect. They can just go back in. If I'm not mistaken.
I'm pretty sure they can just hit rematch. I'm pretty sure. Once it kicks them off in the menu, it'll kick off the little I think what's it called?
Now, do you think all these delays and sort of like hiccups are going to affect the way that they play?
It shouldn't, but I can see it getting them a little bit more nervous, especially when there's like, again, that's the thing about primetime, and a lot of people don't want to play primetime because they don't want the attention on them. They don't want people looking at them. They want people, they don't like their matches being streamed,
and scrutinized too.
Yeah. But again,
not in a bad way, but obviously, if we see something that we think is a mistake, we're going to say it.
Correct.
It's nothing personal. Obviously, that's just what we come to do. But it's one of those things where they do take a risk coming on stream. We do appreciate it. We know there's technical difficulties. Everybody pretty much in the league.
And we always recommend pushing that delay all the way up to at least, like, if you want to be safe, 45 plus seconds.
Yeah.
Just because that way you really can't technically get stream sniped.
Yeah. Which luckily we have not had not a single issue with that.
Correct.
In any season, really, right?
No season at all.
So we're really, I would say proud of that, just because we bring in a lot of people, and sometimes we bring in people that we don't know, and people still are fair, and we don't have any issues like that, and I definitely really appreciate it, because that's one of those things that it can get kind of hairy, kind of a hard situation to settle. So
yep.
All right, so here we go. I'm assuming they're going to lead the same. Hopefully, they pick all their mons this time. We'll be good to go.
Yep. Hopefully they lead the same way they did before. And then hopefully we can get a match going here.
Yeah.
Chichu's locked her team in. All 6 mons were selected, which is great.
Yep. Hopefully
we can get the same from Peekaboo coming from on the other side. But I think, that lead that Peekaboo had with the Stonejourner Manectric seemed really scary.
Yeah.
I don't know what Taichichi might wanted it to do. Probably, if they lead the same, of course, I know more Pico could get a fake out. Probably run a fake out on the Manectric to avoid its power spot boost. Whatever move it wanted to do, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how they start off this first turn.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. Okay, so we got the Sigilif and the Morpeko, which is a pretty common start for Teichichu's team, which I think might be a mistake. I think leading off the same way consistently is
pretty predictable.
A bad way for you're giving your opponent an advantage in that, like, every week when they see that, if they see you bring the same lead every week, if they predict it right, that gives them a huge advantage.
Now we see Teichichu hitting that fake out on the Manectric, opting to go on for the tailwind from the Sigilif, which is going to be good to get that speed advantage over her opponent. And she manages to get both through. I don't know what she's going to get from that Stonejourner. There's a rock slide from Stonejourner.
Yeah,
what I was saying.
That one coming.
Attack is just so powerful. That attack stat just so crazy.
And I have to imagine she knew that was coming, because Stonejourner doesn't exactly have a ton of moves, and it gets stab rock slide.
Yep.
And you've got 2 mons on the field that are weak to rocks. That's just
so now we have
clear
an
as
interesting
day.
choice here. Well, she has the tailwind, and she's gonna, I think, Stomping Tantrum the Manectric, which should knock out, if not really close. But then we know Stonejourner's special defense is really low. She has the Tailwind. She could have just energy balled into the Stonejourner, right?
Yeah, I kind of think that's hard swapping into the Ludicolo is a problem, just because you're putting it at risk now to start taking some damage when it doesn't really need to. But you know what? She predicted correctly, because Stonejourner gets off the Protect, and she goes for that Stomping Tantrum, and it does get the kill. So you know what? Actually, a good play on her part. But I do think, what we were saying is still stands. I think if that she needs the Ludicolo to take out the Stonejourner. She knows that. I think it's potentially risky to bring it in on that play when you could potentially get some chip damage on that, and then it might not be so effective.
And Ludicolo gets access to fake out too. So now switching the Ludicolo in isn't all necessarily that bad, because she gets the option to fake out whatever comes in on that other slot. Now, if it's the Dynamax, well, she might not want to risk it, because it could just Dynamax straight up, which it is the Hydreigon.
It's probably going to. And I think, too, the other thing is, we're probably going to see another Rock Slide here. And
unless if she doubles down, or not doubles down, I think she could just knock out the Stonejourner if she goes straight for the special move from the Ludicolo. It'll be super effective. That thing has no special defense.
Yeah. And she's got the Tailwind, so, I mean, like, the ball's in her court to make a play here.
Correct.
Because I think he's gonna try and take out Dapper.
Taking some time, yeah. I think Seed Bomb is probably the play, personally.
Okay.
Seed Bomb.
I don't know. Maybe doubling up into the Hydreigon, because we know already the Stonejourner is not going to protect again.
That's fine.
So it's always a good opportunity
to avoid the. You could take down the Stonejourner to avoid the Power Spot ability. Just take that out of the field, and then you're gonna have to deal with the Hydreigon eventually.
Okay, so she decides to double up into the Hydreigon. It doesn't Dynamax.
Freeze.
It doesn't even do half. That's kind of surprising.
At least I get damage off.
Do you think it's assault vested?
It might be.
I don't know. I don't know what the damage calc is on that. I haven't run it, so I wouldn't know.
So he's gonna set up a Dragon Dance, or no? I'm sorry, I can't see the.
Dark Pulse.
I couldn't see the thing.
So Ludicolo's Berry is coming up. I can't see what it is either. But Stonejourner probably going for that Rock Slide. Going to probably take out the Morpeko. Takes out the Morpeko. Ludicolo's still up, which is fine. Again, she could have taken a knockout on the Stonejourner to avoid that power spot. Mimikyu looking like a really good pick there. That Fairy typing being that quad weakness on the.
Now
she still has the Tailwind, so she'd be faster than the Hydreigon.
I think too the other thing right now is this Hydreigon could still Dynamax, and it doesn't have a ton of health, but it will double, which means it's gonna be a lot harder to take down. She can get the Giga Drain off on the Stonejourner, which will be nice, but I think even if she does that, if Hydreigon decides to go into the Ludicolo slot, it's probably gonna kill.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're probably gonna see the Dynamax. No, we don't. We see Protect.
There's an Ice Beam that won't hit because of the Protect. There's no Dynamax coming out from the Manchester Mimikyus.
Now, I think really she should have probably gone for the Giga Drain there, honestly. I mean, yes, you still get the kill on Stonejourner, which is great, but I think keeping that Ludicolo at a high health would have been beneficial. And now Tailwind is petered out, so Sigilif is pretty fast, so I think we'll probably see it again, potentially, depending on what comes out here.
Yep. There's an Unpheasant coming out from Peekaboo's slot. We know the Hydreigon is not Scarfed, obviously, because he hit Protect. Unpheasant coming in is going to be interesting to see what he does with the Unpheasant. I've never seen a good
Tailwind as well, right?
I think it can, but I've never seen a good Unpheasant player, so I can just say.
We'll see, though. This could be the day. You never know.
So Peekaboo and Taichichu. So, again, Taichichu's still having the lead, barely, just because of the HP on the Ludicolo. Deciding on whether or not she wants to bring in the Mimikyu. Hard swapping who? The Sigilif? So she does not want to set up another Tailwind. Which is
I do think that the play there was a Tailwind, personally. Because the Sigilif is borderline already gone at this point. I don't think it serves much of a purpose at this point. But see, now we see the Dynamax. So what I thought he was going to do last play, he does now. Actually bringing in that Protect, not a horrible idea, really. But now he's doubled his HP, and Teichichu's only attacking that slot with one Mon, and it's not. I don't think Ice Beam is gonna kill from that range. I just don't see it happening.
I don't think so either. There's the Max Darkness coming in, going into the Mimikyu. Mimikyu can take that because of the disguise. Going to take that 1/16th, right? Correct? 1/8?
I believe so.
Something like that. 1/8, 1/16, whatever.
But that special defense fall is going to be kind of rough.
It's going to be troublesome because there is a Gardevoir in the back, which is definitely just a special Mon. And then the Lucario is back there too, and you can build Lucario either way. There's a Tailwind coming from the Unpheasant, which now that's going to be a big problem for Teichichu. That Ice Beam does take out the Hydreigon. That's going to be a big play right there. Because now we only have to deal with the Gardevoir and the Lucario.
Yeah, and the other thing too is she still has that Gigantamax Garbodor in the back, and that thing is a beast.
Yep. She also has Toxicroak, and she has her Sigilyph, which she decided to protect and bring back. So she can potentially set up a Tailwind later on after this Tailwind right here peters out. Lucario being a threat here for the Mimikyu, probably rocking Meteor Smash. He already has the Tailwind up, so he will be faster. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes on here. He could also have a Flash Cannon if he's a special attacker.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what type of build he has on Lucario. Ooh, Detect.
Interesting.
There's a Detect, there's a Protect. What are we doing with Ludicolo?
And a Suspect.
What's it called? The Ludicolo.
Okay, so no hit there. Ice Beam, no hit there. So pretty much just a dead
turn is just completely null.
I use it a lot. I like fake out.
What do you think is the best play here? Because again, Peekaboo has 3 Mons left, but Teichichu being in a really good position. But it's not like her Mons are super healthy either. So this could turn around really quick.
I think the play for sure was to protect on Mimikyu, but now she can't do that. So I think just getting some damage off on that Lucario is going to be huge because she can probably one-shot the Unpheasant if it doesn't kill.
Ooh, was that a double Detect?
It was. And actually nailed it too.
Either way, I kind of have to sack.
Okay, so we're probably going to see...
And the attack boost on Lucario as well.
Yeah.
So Lucario is going to be problematic here. I think she has Toxicroak that she could bring in to deal with that. Potentially bring in the Garbodor as well. Garbodor sounds like a good Mon here. That's her Dynamax Captain. She could Dynamax that, hit that Lucario. He might Protect on the Lucario, honestly. Seeing that he has Protect on almost all of his Mons.
Yeah, it definitely could happen, especially knowing that he's probably assuming, he's about to get hit with the G-Max move and trying to reduce some of the damage he's going to take.
Yep.
But the Unpheasant, I'm kind of surprised that they went for the Protect instead of just killing that Ludicolo because I feel like pretty much any attacking move, they pretty much have it.
Game, yeah.
Everyone also sleeps on Garbodor.
So we'll see here what's going to happen. This is definitely right here. I feel like is like the most crucial play.
Yeah, it might turn around right here because again, it may seem like Teichichu's like wide in the lead, but like we said, most of her Mons have taken damage. The only Mons that haven't are the Toxicroak and this Garbodor out here that's about to Dynamax or Gigantamax.
Yeah.
And we do see the Gigantamax Garbodor going for the ground Dynamax move, correct?
Yeah, I believe so, which is going to do some pretty big damage.
Yeah.
My sound went out for a moment. Yeah, that's fine.
So there's the Protect from Lucario.
So yeah, he did Protect.
That's fine. She'll hit through the Protect. Now what's the Unpheasant going to do? Going to finish off the Ludicolo?
Not a big deal.
With the Brave Bird. Yep.
Not a big deal.
And well played on his part. I mean, he knew exactly what he needed to do, which is pretty much what we said.
Yep.
And just nailed it pretty much. Now let's see what kind of damage that this move is going to get off.
That does some good damage.
Honestly, still really good.
Some really good damage. Now she has to. Oh, that was a critical.
And
hit.
it was a
Now
crit.
that was a critical hit. Now it's perfect. How many turns of Tailwind are still left? Is that? Oh, there it is.
Can't be.
That's
Yep.
it. That's it.
I was
So
gonna
she
say
sends
can't
out
be
her
much.
Tailwind. She might be able to get some advantage here.
Yeah, I think this is the play right here. You get that Tailwind up, that the Garbodor starts hitting that Lucario, probably takes it out in one hit. And you've got Unpheasant left, which probably isn't going to do a whole lot to Garbodor. And you just kind of run it from there. I think the game is in her hands.
You can run the Heat Wave, you can run the Tailwind, but the question is, does that Unpheasant on the other side set up their Tailwind again? Because if they do, there's a Gardevoir in the back Like, Gardevoir deals with the Toxicroak. So right now, as long as Peekaboo takes care of the Garbodor, he could probably just take the game.
Yeah.
Is that an extreme speed? There you go.
Yeah, so he wanted to take care of that because he knew that Tailwind was probably coming. So we see...
There's a Tailwind from the Unfezant.
Tailwind from them.
So this might be switching around real quick.
Now let's see, this should kill. And it does. Okay, so I think Peekaboo is down to just his 2 mons, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, and Taichichu is as well.
Oh, man.
It's a close match like last week. So it's going to be down to her 2 healthiest mons. And then it's going to be down to the Gardevoir and the Unfezant, which Unfezant putting in that support work with the Tailwind, really.
So, yeah, and I think, too, right here, it's like the Unfezant obviously can kill the Toxicroak with Brave Bird, most likely. But at the same time, they've got Tailwind up, and I think there's a good chance Gardevoir probably protects right here because he knows he's going to get hit, and he can burn out that last turn of Dynamax.
Probably.
And bring this Garbodor down to normal health and put it in range of a one-shot. So I definitely expect to protect.
There's a Brave Bird coming in from the Unfezant.
Going into, yep, okay, and it does kill.
Clean.
Okay, so we don't see the protect on Gardevoir, but this thing, oh, I don't know. Oh, and he eats it because he's, you know what, the other thing too is, exactly, all those boosts. And this should probably,
one shot on the Gardevoir. Now it's down to the Unfezant, which we've been talking so badly about, and the Garbodor.
Yeah, now that thing is poisoned. I don't know. I don't believe that the Garbodor is running Protect, but I don't think it needs to necessarily.
I don't think so either. I think this is going to be, again, I mean, it obviously is going to be a 1-0 match again. It could be on either side. We've only seen 3 of the Unfezant's moves, right? The Detect, the Tailwind, and the Brave
she does have the Protect, so she can run the Protect and just have it, lose a little bit more health.
She can. And I think that's exactly what she's going to do right now.
Yeah, I think that's the play for sure.
Unfezant did not go for Protect, so Unfezant's going to try to attack.
Probably Brave Bird?
Oh!
No, Roost.
That's the last move on that Unfezant. So this is going to be a game.
And that poison, if I'm not mistaken, Gardevoir applies Toxic, no?
I don't remember if it does. We're about to find out.
I guess so.
I don't recall if it's toxic poison or just regular poison, but Drain Punch is going to be just as troublesome for the Unfezant because, we're both going to be recovering HP here.
Yeah, let's see how much this does. This is really going to tell us what...
Oh, that was so close.
And he gets hit with the recoil. We get the Drain Punch. How much is this going to do?
Not much, but she could protect. Now it's going to become the game of, are you going to predict the Roost? Are you going to predict the Protect? It's going to be so close. It's looking a lot better for the Unfezant right now.
Now, here's the thing, right? So let's see if it's toxic damage. It does kind of look like it is.
Seems like toxic.
But the thing is here, do you go for the Drain Punch, if he roosts? Or do you protect? Because you want to get that toxic damage. Because he's going to roost or protect. It's going to be one or the other.
Yep.
Now it's just a matter of picking.
These mind games, man, right here is when it comes difficult. I would just go for the Drain Punch, honestly, just because I would like to see if it hits, it hits. If not, fine. But a Unfezant, it does go for the Roost. So if it is toxic poison, this is a great opportunity here because you're going to get that HP recovery. You could protect, and you know what I mean. So you're getting that damage. Yeah. Toxic's coming through, and that was a good.
Oh, that's a crit.
That was a crit.
So we're going to get big health crit. Back on the. No crit.
No crit. That was
Why
just
did
regular,
it do so much damage?
Regular health.
Just a different roll?
Probably a higher roll. And there's a toxic.
Oh
no.
My god.
So she can potentially save.
Oh man, this is a bad spot because in the same spot again, if the Unfezant decides to attack, it kills from this range.
Yeah.
But if it goes for the Roost too, then it's a bad spot.
She could just protect here because if it tries to go for the Brave Bird, you know what I mean? But I don't know. We'll see. It's up to them. I think Drain Punch is definitely a safe play. I think Drain Punch is a safe play. Protect might also. It just depends on the other person on the other end, honestly.
I think this is risky. I think the Protect is probably the right play.
Okay.
There's the Roost.
Oh, it does go for the Roost again.
She could potentially
So
get
we'll
a crit
see.
on this drain punch right here. Like we
This
were
might
trying to
be
say the
this,
first time.
this might be the kill.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Wow, very impressive battle. That was really, really good. That was worth the wait, in my opinion.
The Dashing Dittos
coming
getting
down
the
to the
W.
wire.
Pretty much the same way they did last week.
I went for the drain punch. I said screw it.
Wow.
Wow. That was a match.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right. Well, any closing thoughts on that match?
Unpheasant, more like unpleasant. Am I right?
This guy. All right. So
That was-
puts
that
the
was a
Dashing
great match.
Dittos 3-2, correct?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken,
So they
I
have the
think that's
same
correct.
win-loss ratio as teams like the Miami Dawn fans,
I think so.
right? If they were to lose next week,
Yeah, most likely.
or if I were to lose next week, oh crap. So it's interesting to see how so basically the reason why I say this is because of the dynamic shuffle system. You know what I'm saying? So like right now, if we were to go this week, next week, I would potentially, same with Frokies, go down to Beta Division.
Yeah.
She would probably stay in Beta Division if, like, let's say, I don't know what else is in her division. Oh, everybody in the Beta Division is 2-2. So basically, everybody in Beta Division just stay there. I would probably stay in my division until the next week. If I were to like lose again, be 3-3, I'd probably drop down to Beta Division. A team that's like 4-2 go up to Alpha Division after the next shuffle, which is in week 8.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Sounds good. That was a great match.
No, I agree. That was definitely it was worth some of the wait.
All right, well, that's pretty much it. That's all the time we have for today. It went a little bit over time, but do you have anything else to say, Perk?
No, we just basically, we appreciate you guys hanging in there with us. I know this prime time was a little bit longer than usual, but we hope you guys enjoyed it, and we hope you guys will come back next week. And if not, if you don't have time, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure, hit the bell, all that stuff. You can see when all the prime times go up, and make sure you guys go and subscribe to all the coaches because they put in a lot of hard work, and they're definitely worth your time.
Solid. Couldn't say it any better myself. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, if this is on YouTube, you're watching on YouTube, again, we apologize for the super long, unprofessional, on-the-spot video. But make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more non-professional, on-the-spot videos. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you guys next time on Primetime. Peace.